The Experience Pros Radio Show. Got an opinion or want to ask us a question? Email radio@experiencepros.com or message us on the Experience Pros Facebook page, and we'll interact with you live on the show.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us for ours. Christine Hernandez sitting in for Angel Tussey. Thank you, Christine.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And our next guest is remarkable in a number of different ways. He is a husband, has a son and a daughter. He's got athletics in his background. He's a former pro athlete, played the pros in Europe, and completed in the Summer Pro League tryouts in Los Angeles. He worked in the natural foods and sports nutrition arena for 20 years in sales, working with legendary Joe Weider for about 10 years, and he actually works side by side with Jack LaLanne in the fitness and nutrition industry. He always wanted to do something in the sports apparel and athletic shoes, passion for that, and therefore he started his company, Soul Trotters. I introduce you now to our good friend, Bradley Villeen. Bradley, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. You just call me Brad.
Brad, you got it. Absolutely. Very nice to have you along. All right, so Brad, you've got a ton of athletic stuff in your background. Tell us, what is Soul Trotters? What's the vision behind your company?
Well, one of the reasons I started Soul Trotters is going back to my childhood illness, which was I had bacterial spinal meningitis, and for most people that was a death sentence, but Fortunately for me, my mom was an RN, and she realized my fever was really high, and I was eating chocolate cake that day on my brother's birthday. So she took me to the doctor, and he said, we got to get him to the hospital right away. And I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. A lot of people praying for me and different things, and somehow miraculously I made it. I recovered physically, and was able to dunk a basketball a variety of ways later on in life and lift heavy weights. But I always had a little bit of trouble with comprehension skills due to the heating up of my brain with the disease there. But I've overcome so many things with that. But some technical things, it just takes me a little bit longer to pull through. But that's one of the reasons I came out with Soul Trotters. I just wanted to have I had this love for sports apparel and shoes, and a lot of people have overcome a lot of obstacles in life. And that's kind of the crux behind it, is to be an overcomer. There's nothing magical about wearing Soul Trotters, but by being an overcomer, we hope that you'll like our product. And one of the things I'm working on with the shoe designer is I've had this love for shoes, and my mom would tell you that since I was a kid, starting with us in sports, that because I had some foot problems when I was younger, and most shoes don't have enough arch, so I'm working on a special arch for shoes that can be adjustable. I don't want to say too much about that because I want to apply for a utility patent.
Sure. Well, talk about being an overcomer and coming through. I mean, from one overcomer to the other one. We just heard from Christine Hernandez, who's our guest host for today, in our last segment, that she also overcame a life-threatening condition. Yeah. Christine.
That your story is extremely inspirational. Thank you for sharing it with us, Brad. And I think so much, like, I can relate. Fitness, if your body's not healthy, then you're never going to overcome too much. Like, that will always be an obstacle that gets in your way from living fully fulfilled. And what do you think your apparel line does for your clients when they put it on? Like, what is the feeling that they get? Do you have some inspirational stories about your clients and kind of how they feel when they're wearing your apparel?
Well, right now I just have my own story posted online and various social media sites, but I've kind of reached out to other folks to have them let let me know their stories so we can share those as well. But I'm still very new in the business, only just less than a year. So I haven't compiled too much yet, but I hope to do more of that and work with other athletes, not just athletes, just people who have had to overcome a lot of different obstacles and challenges thrown their way.
You know, I love this. And before we go any further, I want to make sure that our listeners have access to your website and your product line. Folks, you can go check out Soul Trotters, SoulTrotters.com. That's SoulTrotters.com. And you've got a special here that you're offering, Brad. You've got if somebody decides to go to the website and purchase anything between today and tomorrow, they're going to receive free shipping. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually, I extended it from today through Saturday.
Okay.
Free shipping, and I've already reduced my prices too, because kind of the big three in sports apparel, which I won't mention their names, are generally like $34 to $45 for these type of items that I'm selling, these type of shirts. But I'm retailing for $19.99. All
right, and you're selling their you call them Soul Cool Fit T-shirts, right?
Yeah.
And come in a variety of colors as well as camouflage colors and whatnot for men and women. Man, it's kind of cool stuff you got going on here, brother.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, they're all dry wicking. They're very cool, lightweight. Even my mom said she's worn it to the gym and said, I thought I'd be sweating in this a lot, but it's surprisingly very cool. So it was good to have an endorsement from Mom.
Absolutely. You know, you can't find a better endorsement than the one from Mom. I'll tell you that much. All right. And in our last minute that we have here with you, Brad, let's just ask you this. You're a new entrepreneur. You're about a year into the business. You're in a manufacturing business. What's the greatest challenge that you have overcome that maybe you didn't expect when you started out?
Yeah, some of the biggest challenges, I guess, is just figuring out how to build a website, get onto Amazon.com and navigate through that. And
that's more complicated than finding somebody to actually make the apparel and designing the apparel.
Yeah, that was the logo was one of probably the most challenging to begin with, to find somebody who could do the logo.
Gotcha.
and were willing to do something that's kind of faith-based and things. I went through several challenges with that, but actually doing a lot of these other things on my own has been very challenging, but very rewarding as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brad, I invite you to stay close here to the Experienced Pros and our network. I saw that you were active on that earlier this afternoon. And stay close to Angel and I. We will help you as much as we possibly can to take those next steps and launch your business into the next level.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely. That's Bradley Villeen. He is Soul Trotters, SoulTrotters.com. When we return, more positive business talk with Christine Hernandez. This is the Experienced Pros Network,
America's home for positive business talk. You're listening to the Experienced Pros radio show. Contact them on the web at experiencepros.com.